Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Admiral Cisco, right back at you. Well, as you all know, I listen to both Simon Parks and R. Scott Lemriel. You know, watching for them to see if they're gonna drop some juicy knowledge or slip up and accidentally speak on black extraterrestrials. Which some of them do from time to time, but truth be told, they really don't want that information out in the first place, which we all know. But another interesting topic that has always caught my attention is the human soul. And very few people describe it. And I've heard a lot of people, like a lot of contactees, different ones throughout the years, say that they were abducted by the Greys and that they had their souls pulled out of their body. But you don't get too many descriptions of it. And I don't know who to call a liar and who not to call a liar. Maybe they could be all right. I don't know because I've never seen it. And not too many people speak on it. But both Simon Parks and R. Scott Lemriel are discussing what the soul looks like. R. Scott Lemriel describes the soul completely different than what Simon Parks described it as. And R. Scott Lemriel says that the soul is called the Atma. Anyway, I'm going to play video clips from two videos that they had done describing what they claimed that the soul looks like, and both of them swore up and down they saw it. I can't debate them on that because we very seldomly do we even hear that. But I'm going to let y'all see the video clips, and I want to hear y'all opinion afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, the next question is from Oriane, who says, Dear Simon, you mentioned in a previous podcast that you have witnessed the birth of souls, that they were born in batches, in brackets, hence soul groups, that they were about 18 inches long and oblong. Please can you further detail on the subject, like 1. How many are born at a time or per batch? 2. How often in terms of cyclical time? 3. In what circumstances does this occur? In brackets, does this occur within the womb of a black hole or other? Question mark. Please tell us everything you can tell us. Thank you very much.
Okay, just one correction there. I've never said that the soul was oblong. I've said it's oval. So the soul would never be oblong. It's very hard to get corners in creation like that. So the soul is 18 inches long, approximately. That's, looking at it, I might be a bit out, but it's American football shaped or rugby football shaped, and it's a bluish white light around the edge. The center you can almost see through. Thickness, I've never actually seen it side on, I've only seen it front on, but I don't imagine it's very thick at all. At no point do you sort of have to shield your eyes from it. It's not that sort of bright. It's a sort of I say ozone, it's not, but it's a sort of a bluey, whitey, you sometimes get with ozone, that sort of colour. You shouldn't be surprised if I tell you they are created in groups of 6. You call them batches. That sounds like some sort of artificial. We're not going to use that word because this is the great creator. It doesn't make them in batches. It's not like a hen in a hen house, batches of eggs. These are created. Born is an interesting concept. I never considered that word. I only considered the word born with the organic physical being. With the energy creation of the soul, I think it's a creation rather than born. So they are, interestingly enough, in the petals of a flower. In other words, think of a flower, think of the petals around it like a sunflower or a daisy. So the central energy form, budding off from it, are the souls, 6 of them, and then they will release. I don't know what the pattern is, but they will release, whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, I can't remember, but they are released. And you're absolutely right, well done, that is how you get soul groups. Because if you have one of these energy forms with 6 souls from it, then They can be very closely connected if one is right next to another one, which is not likely in another group here creating. Now, whether there are great banks or batteries of these, I have no idea. I've just seen one of these energy forms in front of me and the souls being created. I've also seen alien technology breaking the law, taking a soul and taking it from one physical body and transferring it to another body. So it's, I can't say it's a vacuum. I have no idea of the environment, but it's a sealed place. And I do remember a double door. This is incredible, but it's true. A double door, like an outer door and an inner door. So if the soul escaped, it would be trapped between the, not an airlock, but the same principle, and a device in the ceiling moving along, not on a pulley or wheels, moving along with the soul actually, it's like hanging from it, and they would travel along and then go to an inert physical form, and the soul would immediately wish to go into the body because the soul requires a physical form to live in. And so when it's brought within a certain range of a viable form, a form that is part of its understanding. In other words, if you took a human soul and you offered it an ant, I doubt that the soul would want to go into an ant. But if you have a human form and a human soul, it will automatically go. You don't have to do anything, just go straight to it. So I've seen that occurring. I've also seen in ancient Egypt, I'm talking not the historical archaeological Egypt, I'm talking sort of 25,000 years ago, you've seen the soul rising out of a dead form placed in the black sarcophagus, floating and then going into a baby that's placed, a 6-month-old baby or 3-month-old baby, don't know exactly, probably weeks, days old, and then the soul going into that form. So the great creator creates things naturally, but those with the brain power and the technological power usurp that from their own free will, of course, and they do that. So I hope that, again, goes some way to answering the questions that you have. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Simon Park's full-on description of what our souls look like in our body. Here's R. Scott Lemriel's description of what he claims the soul, which he says is really called the Atma, apparently looks like. And he claims it's not in our body. So I find that interesting. Take a look.
The Emerald Doorway is book 1 of the Parallel Time trilogy. This is a city of light in the 5th dimension, just past the void, known to certain Buddhists and certain esoteric sects on planet. This is in a reality far above the void. This is really what we call the Ancient One in this book, or Prime Creator, or the Source. And it looks spherical and has a white core. Different layers of spectrum of light, teardrop shapes that you see in each layer are individual higher faculties of each Atma or soul. This is who we are. This is the image we're made in, or this is how we exist in likeness to the Source itself. Because not shown in the book, above each of their heads is one of these. This is a representation or an appearance of the Prime Creator that this Master Teacher is introducing to Etta, Calum, and Melina, hovering on anti-gravitic disks above new land after the poles flipped 100,000 years ago and destroyed Lemuria and its colony continent of Atlantis, all but a volcanic island. That was 100,000 years ago on this planet. There's Calum's scout ship right there. This little guy is a creature called a Dren. He's silica-based. He is not carbon-based like us, and his culture, his race, developed the ability to defy gravity and fly through the air as an organic creature. He has a photographic memory. This little guy is telepathic. He loves his family, his wife, and kids more than people on Earth understand. I don't want to be rude, but it's true. I've met Etta. Etta is a good friend of mine. He's also a Master Teacher, and he isn't even human. People on Earth have a lot of growing up to do.
Scott, this is very interesting.
People on Earth have a lot of growing up to do before they can embrace being part of the grand multidimensional universe and playing among the stars. They can't go out there and play with people the way they are now because they're bent, unconscious. They don't remember who they are. They're going to take their fear and terror out into space and throw it on innocent people. It's never going to happen. People out space is already occupied by more advanced races, and they're never going to tolerate us going out there this way. So Earth is in for some big changes. This is very practical, and I state it with confidence in a practical way for anyone who has the courage to explore these little shows we do. I want to show you what Etta looks like. She's quite cute, very endearing creature.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the video clip. Like I said, I don't know who's telling the truth or who could be lying. It's possible they're both telling the truth. Again, I've never seen our spirit form before, but I've always been intrigued by that subject matter because not enough people are talking about it. What do y'all think? Leave a comment down below. Admiral Cisco signing off.